Words, whether you're speaking them or writing them, they've always been one of the main ways that people use to communicate and connect with each other all across the world. In fact, people often like to string these words together into specific phrases that allow them to convey certain sentiments or points. In this speech, I'd like to introduce you to one of my favorite phrases, "A rolling stone gathers no moss." I'd like to analyze its origin, how and why it's changed over time, and what it means to us today. When I'm finished, you'll be able to identify not only the phrase and its meaning, but the history behind the phrase too. "A rolling stone gathers no moss" has origins in both Greek and Latin, and Merriam-Webster states that it has one of its first appearances in writing in 1508, when Erasmus of Rotterdam, a Dutch scholar and humanist, published his translations of Greek and Latin proverbs. Both translations of the phrase essentially quote, "A rolling stone does not gather any moss." In this time period, the phrase had a negative connotation derived from Publius Cyrus, who stated that the phrase referred to people who are always moving with no roots in one place or another and who avoid responsibilities and cares. This negative connotation lasted until the 18th century, when it finally shifted to have a different meaning. There's no definite reason as to why the phrase shifted, although Merriam-Webster.com and BookBrowse.com both note the phrase's influence in music, with listeners of rock and blues essentially changing the meaning through music. This phrase is included in songs like Muddy Waters' "Rolling Stone" in 1950, which is also the song that inspired the band name The Rolling Stones, and also Bob Dylan's "Like a Rolling Stone" in 1965. Due to the phrase's influence in rock music, especially in the 60s onwards, the phrase has shifted connotations. Instead of referring to people who are running away from responsibility and don't care or unstable, now it leans towards people who are filled with wanderlust or consider themselves free. Although the phrase can be used in both ways, modern times typically grants it the happier connotation. Now that we've discussed the origin, history, and modern meaning of the word, we can summarize what we know, which is essentially that although the phrase started off with a negative connotation, its influence in rock music has allowed it in modern times to have a happier connotation. Throughout this speech, I hope I've been able to interest you in one of my favorite phrases, and I thank you for listening.
Yay!
Mom, she still has to film after.